No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Ow, 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 ow. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. We're going all the way so you can score more for your trade-in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV today. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
It's time for the Postgame Show from Bronco Nation News. We're breaking down the game with highlights, interviews, analysis, and most importantly, you. Give your thoughts on the game in the YouTube chat or Facebook comments, and we'll include the best ones on the show. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Postgame Show from Bronco Nation News.
Well, how about Pearson Carmichael? I don't think many people arrived at the arena tonight thinking they'd see Pearson Carmichael doing this, but not one, but two three-pointers. Hits one there at the end of the shot clock. Adds a nice little layup in transition here as well. And Pearson Carmichael burning the red shirt coming into the lineup tonight and helping lead Boise State to a 81-59 win over UNLV tonight. My name is BJ Rains. This is the Jacksons Postgame Show. We got our man Abe Jackson from Learfield, the Bronco Radio Network. Just got done calling the game with Bob Beeler over on 670 KBOI. And Abe, you never know what you're going to see when you show up at the arena tonight. But what a development there with Pearson Carmichael.
Yeah, I mean, it was surprising for sure. I mean, 15 games into a season, and I'm sure you got it in your interview with Coach Rice, but he also told Bob and I, he said, he's just been lighting us up from three in practice. And I talked to him and asked if he could do that in the games. And he looked at me and he said, yeah, I can. And you can tell he's a confident player out there. And he looks like he's going to help from 3-point ranges what the Broncos need, coming in shooting about 30% and shot a little bit under that. But what was really impressive from the Broncos, 71% from two in this game. So that's how you can shoot under 30% from three, but still score over 80.
Yeah, you'd like to see the 3-point percentage at some point continue to go up. But I mean, like you said, 70% from two, all the other numbers you saw. But I mean, I want to stick with Carmichael here for a second. But this kid was a high school senior last year, averaged over 20. I mean, you're probably doing what everybody else is doing during that game, going to check his bio and getting all the stats and everything. And 27 points a game as a senior, was a 2-time Oregon Player of the Year. And in this day and age, you just don't see very many kids redshirt anymore. It's just, a couple at the beginning when I tweeted it might happen when I had heard something, you had, folks saying, oh, I don't know if I like this or not. I'm like, worry about 2029 and 2028. Like, don't worry about the end of it now. If you think he's good enough to help you now, you got to put him in the lineup and play him. And he just hit, whether it was the injury and just all the combination of just them not having a super deep, bench, I guess, and also him producing in practice, and they need another shooter. And if he's that guy, I guess you just let him roll with it. But I mean, a little bit of a, big gutsy call, I guess, from Leon Rice to make this decision. And certainly it's one game, but it just had a different feel with him out there tonight.
It did. And the whole game had a different feel, right? And Tyson talked about it with us that the practices leading into it were intense. Like guys were getting after it and knowing that they had to turn it around after that San Diego State game. And they did. And you can't win the conference by just winning one game at this point, but you could lose the conference. I mean, just look at Nevada, right? I mean, they're going to have a hard time getting a bye in the Mountain West tournament. So you start stacking some losses together, even if it's early in the conference, tough to try and get a regular season championship, but you just let one happen and then you bounce back with a game like this, especially going into Utah State, where is one of the toughest places in the country to play. If anyone hasn't been to a road game, I would say go to a road game at Utah State and go to a road game at the Pit if you can make it.
The next two road games.
Those next two road games. But those are some tough places. So you couldn't have asked for a better time to really find some good rhythm from pretty much everyone who stepped out on the court before you head off to Logan.
I thought as big of a story as Pearson Carmichael was, the biggest development for me today was Omar Stanley looked more like Omar Stanley.
He did, and he was aggressive and he was decisive. His first bucket where he got fouled on, it was exactly what I had said on your show, what I wanted to see. Catch the ball, face up, and just make a decisive move and then just take your chances at the hoop. I mean, he can get up, he can finish high, he's strong, and so he did exactly that, and he finished, he got the bucket, got the foul, he knocked down a three, double digits, 12 points for Omar. I think that was one of his games that hopefully he can just continue on a roll, because if you get 12 from him with some of the other scores on this team, I think that's enough.
Yeah, we just said it all needs a little bit of confidence. You get that rolling, and who knows what's next. But of course, we also said Tyson Degenhart needs to be Tyson Degenhart, and he did that in 31 minutes tonight. 21 points, 11 rebounds, his third double-double of the season. I saw a stat from Jay Tust on Twitter. He only had 6 double-doubles the first 3 seasons. Already has 3 this year, and after taking 6 shots in that game against San Diego State, there were a couple more that don't count because of the free throw attempts, but 8 of 11 from the field tonight. As we said, 11 rebounds. He drew 5 fouls and a team high plus 27 when he was out there tonight. That's more like the Tyson Degenhart we know.
Yeah, that really is. And if you take a look at the 3 most veteran players on this team when it comes to Division I basketball, Degenhart, Stanley, and Cardenas, they shot a combined 22% against San Diego State, and they shoot combined 56% in this game. Cardenas with 9 assists, double-digit scoring. Let's see what he had here. 13 points, 9 assists, and 0 turnovers. I mean, you couldn't really ask for a better point guard line than that. And all 3 of those guys stepped up, and that's why it was a blowout win.
Yeah, it was just had a different feel tonight.
It felt good.
The crowd, it did, and I thought that the crowd was more into it. I thought that the energy, the videos, the music was louder. I just thought overall there was just a different vibe tonight. Whether that was Pearson Carmichael, but then you had Dylan Buchanan hitting shots early, and it just felt more like the
Dylan Anderson, Javen Buchanan.
Yes, well, he had a couple. He had 12. He had 12 points too,
everyone who played seemed to have a decent to a really good game.
Yeah, it just felt like it just had a different feel to it.
Yeah,
tonight.
it did. And again, you couldn't have asked for a better game before you go to Logan. I mean, such a tough place to play. If people who haven't been there, it holds about 10,000 or so. About half of those are students. They come in an hour before the game and are just on the players from the get-go about their missed shots, their made shots, and just talking trash, having signs up everywhere. And they are literally in arm's distance from you and could reach out and touch you. It is one of the largest arenas with 10,000, but in the closest proximity to the court.
And they're like literally standing on top of us in the media. I mean,
you're just packed in there.
You at least have a little bit of buffer, because I think the fans on your side are Boise State fans right behind you. But
you're right there.
I mean, literally, they're like touching my back. I mean, they're rubbing my shoulders and stuff. I mean, it's literally they are right there, and it's students. And the thing about them is they're more ruthless too. They're not afraid to use some profanity and some of the signs they have and stuff. I mean, it's a different deal, but we'll get to that in a minute. UNLV, and we talked about this on the pregame, but the rebounding tonight, 38-21. Boise State, it was a strength. It was not a strength for UNLV. It played out like that. I jinxed it because at one point there was 5 minutes left in the game, and UNLV only had 1 offensive rebound. I tweeted, hey, San Diego State had 15. They only have 1. They ended up getting a couple more late in the game. I think they finished with, 3? But overall, this was more what you like to see on the glass.
Yeah, when you have the stats in front of you, BJ, and it didn't really show the game in the percentages. That's not where the game was told, because they were pretty close in the overall shooting. But go over these stats right here. These are kind of the other other team stats. Read those for me here, BJ, since the stats are in front of you. But these are the stats, the team stats that really define this game.
You can go 20-12 off turnovers. You can go 40-22 in the paint. You can go 16-7 second chance. Or you can go 34-19 on the bench.
Yeah, and so the shooting percentages were pretty even, but in all these other categories, the Broncos just dominated.
They did. It was I mean, definitely the first half. I know the Oakland game was a pretty impressive game to start with, but that was a non-conference game season opener. I mean, this was, if not the best game of the season or most impressive, it's right up there.
Yeah, I'd put it up there with the Clemson game. I mean, take out the first 3 to 4 minutes against Clemson, and that was probably their most complete game. But the Broncos also have kind of struggled a little bit in the first half sometimes this year, but this was such a full game from the get-go. They turn over UNLV on the opening possession with a 30-second shot clock violation. That's like taking a charge to open the game. Just set the tone for it, and the Broncos just rolled.
No, they did. It was super impressive, 81-59. Only 7 times, I looked it up while we were in the last 4 years, so they lost 2 games in a row. I mean, they're just pretty good about bouncing back and not letting one loss become 2, 3. And I asked Leon in the postgame about, I mean, in this league, that's what you got to do. You mentioned the road games coming up Saturday. I mean, you would have lost tonight. All of a sudden, you give away 2 home games, and you're going to Logan. You know, and a chance to lose 3 and be down 3 in a row. I mean, you have to bounce back. It's been super impressive, and I thought they did again tonight. Kind of what we expected, but I mean, they were up 29 at one point. I mean, Leon told us it was 37 good minutes. There was a little stretch there where they actually cut it to like 15.
Yep.
But for the most part, I mean, from start to finish, this was an ass kicking.
Yeah, it really was. It was an impressive game, and even when it got to 15. There was no feel that the game was going to get away. What was it?
There wasn't enough time.
4.5 minutes or something at 15. So, I mean, it got down to 15, but still, I mean, just as much of a dominating performance from the tip that I've seen from a Bronco team this year.
It was, again, super impressive. And you can go down the line, too. I mean, we mentioned, I mentioned Dylan Anderson, 7 points. He had a 3-pointer. He had a couple inside buckets. I mean, he's been, he got the start 18 minutes, but I thought even Dylan Anderson did some things tonight. Chris Lockett, I'm not even sure he ended up scoring. He did not score in 24 minutes, but had 3 assists, only 1 turnover. Bowie did not score either. I mean, if you can get no points from those 2 guys and only shoot, again, what was the final number? 27% from 3, and you still win by 20. I mean, that's a pretty good sign. Yeah,
this Bronco team has been resilient, finding ways to score when they're not shooting the 3 well, and they're averaging around 30-ish% from 3 as a team. But whether it's shooting over 70% from 2 or whether it's getting to the free throw line 25 or 30 times, they're finding ways to get over 80 points a game while shooting under 30% from 3, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, they dominated every stat tonight. Even Emmanuel Ugbo got in there. I mean, they played 10 guys in the first 12 minutes of the half. I mean, Leon was not afraid to go down on the bench tonight.
Yeah, and one of the deepest teams that I can remember in the last, 5 or 6 years, and then they just add someone else, and Carmichael coming off the bench. And so many guys that they can go to, and what makes it tough, too, is that you got Omar Stanley coming off the bench, gave you double digits. Javen Buchanan coming off the bench that gave you double digits. Carmichael hit a couple threes. We've seen Lockett and Bowie score pretty well. Ugbo gives you solid minutes here and there. Anderson can do something. I mean, these are some starters that are coming off the bench right now for the Broncos. So it can be a dangerous team if they start to really find it, and maybe one of these games shoot, 45% from 3. They could be up into the 90s.
You'd love to have that be Saturday.
Oh, my God. I would love to come out of Logan with a win. I went 0 for when I was there. Coach Rice got here, and I think we were 0 for.
There was a stretch where it was 19 or 20 in a row.
I think it was 18.
Yeah,
I think it was 18, and Coach Rice, it might have been his first 5 years where he didn't get a win there, and then finally got one. I think we're 4 in 22.
Marcus Shaver hit a big shot there a couple of years ago.
That was so nice.
Malad Narmouche had 20 and 20 or something.
He did. So Shaver, he was 0 for 9 and then hit a step back 3 walk off to go 1 for 10 and to send Logan home. Sad. Winning team, losing team, winning team, losing team.
They're going to have all those. Who's their guy going to be? Is it Meadow? I mean, last year they had about 30 signs for Max Rice. I don't know who the guy's going to be. Who's the guy's going to be?
I felt like I was looking at a Rice family photo album when I was at that game last year because they had so many pictures of Max and his dad and his mom and his brothers, and just everywhere had pictures of Max.
Yeah, I don't know. It just felt different tonight. It felt like the team that a lot of people envisioned in terms of the team that everybody picked in it. It's one game. I know you don't want to get it's one game, but we'll take it for what it is. But tonight against a team that, UNLV, that was, I don't know how to say this nicely. That was one of the more underwhelming UNLV teams. Yeah. And maybe we just caught, we all watched them play on a bad night. But that did not look like a team to me that I'd be super scared to play again.
No, and they're missing a couple guys. Whaley is out. I think he'll be out all year. He only played 2 games, had big games against the Broncos last year. And, Jace Whiting, he's a solid guy for them who didn't play with a foot injury as well. But you're right. It is one game. If we're going to talk about, hey, if they have a bad loss, it's just one game. We got to talk about that as a win too. This is one game. But what's nice is that it did come off of a pretty poor game.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, there are not a lot of back-to-back losses in conference under Coach Rice, which just speaks to the type of guys he gets, the mental toughness of the guys that he gets to come and play, that you learn from your losses and then you put together a fantastic game on the next one.
And you had this one on the Tuesday, so they get the extra day to
get
ready for Saturday. Yep. And I guess they'll fly down, I guess, but I'll drive, you'll bus. I mean, it's one of those short kind of 4-hour trips, but an opportunity to go get a huge win. And
it'd be big.
It'd be a massive win. And it's the kind of game, it's the kind of game that they go like, tonight was the game for sure. Like when they bounce back, play well, you're not surprised, but everyone's still kind of whatever. You'd like to have the Boston College game back. You'd like to have Saturday back, and all. It's like Saturday's the kind of game in Logan where it wouldn't shock me if they go down there and get away.
No, it wouldn't. And I still don't think that there's a team that's, 1 or 2 teams that are head and shoulders above the rest. Now you're looking at, there is a pretty determined bottom. I think there's 4 teams that haven't won.
There were some close games tonight, though.
There were close.
Wyoming gave New Mexico all they wanted, and San Jose was battling with Utah
Wyoming
State
was ahead by 4 with like 4 minutes left, and then New Mexico, I think, went on an 8 or 9-0 run to put that one away. But we talked about San Jose State at home, right?
Yep, they were winning that game.
Utah State goes in there and wins by 6 or 7. Okay, so yeah,
the number was bigger than that. They were supposed to win by 10 or 11.
Yeah, so San Jose State plays pretty well at home, but Utah State still undefeated in conference. They get that close win. They had a last-second 3 at San Diego State to win that game, so it would be nice to hand the Aggies their first loss in the conference in Logan.
I think we're setting a record here for like the 10th time this year. We had your man Kelly Pfeiffer
Let's go.
Tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, he has been that's got to be his 6th or 7th game already. That he's
and I think we played pretty well with him out there.
He did the Clemson game, did a couple of the games down in the Cayman Islands. I actually thought the officiating crew, I didn't have too many. Maybe when you win by 20, you don't have too much to say about that. Leon Rice didn't have much to say tonight.
When you're up by 25 and a block charge call doesn't go your way, you're kind of like, I'm going to let that one go.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't perfect, but I didn't have a ton of qualms with
it was good.
calls, but hey, appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
have a good rest of your week. We will see you for the pregame show down in Logan.
Sounds good.
Abe Jackson, Bronco Radio Network in Learfield. Appreciate him for jumping on. Again, Boise State takes this one 81-59 against UNLV, and always appreciate Abe, even on a late night tonight, giving us 10 minutes here on his way out the door. We're going to hear from Leon Rice. We're going to hear from Pearson Carmichael making his media debut. We talked to him, talked to Tyson Degenhart. We even got Kevin Kruger. Our man Jaden Finch went over and got the UNLV coach. So a lot of interviews to come here on the post-game show. We'll take your comments, your questions, your thoughts, your Matt Boucher player of the game, anything you got on this one. We'll take it after this one. And again, 81-59, and whole new video, a whole new intro video, a whole new speakers being a lot louder. It just had a better vibe tonight from start to finish. So kudos to everybody involved over at Boise State. I thought they did a tremendous job on the marketing side, and whoever was behind that, they switched some things up, and I thought it made a big difference. You have that kind of energy. I like your chances against San Diego State, to be honest. It just was louder speakers, more energy, better video. It just felt different tonight in a really good way. On the court, in the stands, in the speakers, everything just felt different and better tonight. I thought that the lighting was better for the intro. Everything, it just felt right tonight. Just felt much better. And like I said, even on the court, the product you saw was the team you saw that you thought could win a Mountain West championship out there tonight. So we're going to hear from some of our post-game interviews in just a minute, but I do want to thank Western Collective, our studio sponsor, the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the Orange Chaos Seltzer. Pick it up at your local retailer. I saw a lot of folks enjoying those beverages tonight. Again, the Horseshoe Golden Ale. After this one, 81-59 is the final as Boise State takes down UNLV. But a portion of these proceeds go to benefit the Horseshoe Collective at Boise State. So have some delicious beverages. Help the collective out. Go visit their brewery in Garden City. Our studio sponsor is Western Collective. RowPaint.com, our title sponsor. There would be no BNN without RowPaint.com. So all your painting needs, whether it's the concrete coatings, the interior, exterior painting, RowPaint.com. Check them out online, RowPaint.com. All your painting needs, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our title sponsor is Row Paint. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Mobile e-branch online banking, best in the business. Rain's family is so happy we switched to ICCU. We just wish we had done it sooner. I promise you, you may like your banking experience. You don't realize what all you're missing until you make the switch to Idaho Central Credit Union. ICCU.com, or there is a branch pretty much on every corner. Just check them out. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. We'll pick that Matt Boucher Real Estate Player of the Game coming up. Boucher Real Estate, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley for a reason. Check them out online, BoucherRealEstate.com. And no home is too big or too small. Matt and his team are ready to help you out all your real estate needs at BoucherRealEstate.com. Ridley's Family Markets, ShopRidleys.com. ShopRidleys.com. They got locations, Treasure Valley, Magic Valley, surrounding states. Saw Mark Ridley wearing a tie tonight. His son, they all came in ties, so he put on a tie, and they were dressed nice there in the front row. Even saw the Amy Bonner, the official, commenting on the tie there. So nice job by Hayden and company with the ties tonight. ShopRidleys.com. Download their Skip app. Get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line. ShopRidleys.com. We are back on the Jacksons Postgame Show. We're taking your comments, your thoughts after this one. Sky Ship saying Peanut Carmichael has a smooth release as I've ever seen. What a find by Leon. Let's see. Logan commenting saying it was darker during the intro too. Tell Boucher to stay off the floor. One bad call that he almost was to the 3-point line. Didn't see that. Didn't see that one, to be honest. Wyoming choked badly. They were up double digits in the second half and lost. Yeah, they had there was a huge run for New Mexico. I think 17-1 to start the second half or something, and they had a chance to win that one. They were not able to pull it off. But Pearson Carmichael, he is the story tonight. Burns his red shirt, comes off the bench, 17 minutes and 47 seconds. He has 8 points, hits 2 of 5 from 3-point range, 3 rebounds, had an assist as well. Freshman from Oregon. Again, it was 2-time state player of the year in Oregon, averaged over 27 points a game as a senior. And you had the old vet Tyson Degenhardt. He had 21 and 11. And the freshman Pearson Carmichael meeting with the media after the game. Take us through how this all went down, man. They get a chance to burn the red shirt and play.
I mean, I was kind of told, I think it was yesterday before practice, Coach just said, he's like, yo, it's an opportunity for you to play. I mean, a couple people injured, and he's just been liking the way I've been practicing. So he's like, I think we're going to pull it, and we're going to play you. And, I mean, just thanks to all the coaches and players for letting me go out there and do my thing and play tonight.
Have there been any talk at all this season about that being possible? Or?
Not at all. I mean, obviously, I was hoping to play, the first couple games or whatever, but, I mean, after that, I was kind of like, all right, this red shirt, let's get to the grind, ready for next year. But, I mean, just all glory to God and coaches for just, putting trust in me and letting me. So
you had no idea that was coming, and then Leon tells you, what was going through your mind at that point?
I mean, I was pretty excited. It was like a dream come true. I've always dreamed of this, playing in ExtraMile. But, I couldn't be too excited, just had to do my thing and just play basketball.
A couple 3-pointers, you're blowing kisses to the crowd. Was it exactly what you expected?
It was a little different. I mean, my first couple minutes were definitely a little nerve-wracking, but I think those butterflies went away once we started going. But honestly, it was kind of just basketball. You kind of just tune out the crowd, and once you have teammates like him and Al and everyone else that you play with, it's just pretty easy to run up and down the court.
Okay, so BJ's been saying your nickname is Peanuts. Is that the case?
Yeah, Peanut's my nickname.
Where'd that word Peanut?
Peanut came from my mom, right out the womb. She said I had a small head and it was shaped like a peanut, so ever since that, it's just stuck.
Do you agree it still looks like a peanut now?
I'm not really sure. My nickname's kind of changed from Peanut to Nut, so maybe not. So, yeah.
Peanut's too long to say in a game. Yeah. You got one syllable.
Well, I guess just, obviously a big bounce-back victory for you guys as well. Just how important was it to come out here and not just win, but make statements?
That film session on Sunday was not fun. We watched back certain clips, and it was just like a lack of effort, lack of focus for us, both offensively and defensively. I think we missed a lot of chances in that game, and we had 2 really good days of prep, and I think that's why we played so well. Is we had those 2 great days. We were dialed in practice yesterday, and then we had a good shoot around, and the vibes were just really, really good. We knew it wasn't the end of the world losing one game, but you don't want to make one loss turn to 2, turn to 3. We had to have the right response, and that's what this team did.
Tyson, how important was it just to get out to that fast start in the first half like you guys
It was super important. We had to come in there and set the tone, both offensively and defensively, and I think we did a great job of that. We controlled the glass, which is what we wanted to do, and we're hoping to continue to do that throughout the year.
How big was it to have Omar, making hustle plays, putting up some big stats tonight?
It was huge. I know he hasn't had the season he's wanted to, but he's continuing grinding. He keeps believing. He did some really great things for us tonight, and I'm hoping it's going to continue.
You just feel a little different, like in the crowd, the games, everything tonight. Did it just feel more like it's supposed to, the team that you guys kind of envisioned you were going to have?
I heard there was some Twitter war or something about. I'm not on Twitter right now, so I don't know. But it was a great atmosphere for a Tuesday night. I mean, it was loud. People were engaged. I think that's what we need at Extra Mile each and every night that we play. It makes us, have fun playing out there, knowing that the crowd's behind us each and every night we play. And even on Tuesday night, that was a really good crowd. And when students come back, it's going to be even better. So I'm really excited to see what the crowd can continue to do.
What was your kind of reaction, the team's reaction when you found out about, Peanut and just, what does he bring to the table?
I was really excited for him. I know there's some, I thought he was going to redshirt this year, and then with Keen being out right now, I'm just really happy for him. I've seen what he's been able to do in practice, and there's been some scouts where you don't really know what to do because he's just scoring at will, and he just provides such a great shooting threat and some length and can rebound. I mean, he had 8 points, 3 rebounds in 17 minutes, almost 18 minutes. That's pretty good for your first game, and had an assist too. So he's just going to continue to get better and better and more comfortable.
Between him, Julian, Chris, obviously, I was a freshman, but getting a lot of great production from freshmen this season. How great is that to have on the court?
It's great. The young guys bring this type of energy that some of the old guys don't kind of miss from freshman year, like just this very green, like very happy to be there, just wanting to learn everything, and that's what I love is they come into work each and every day wanting to get better, and they're continuing making us better as well.
How excited are you for the opportunity on Saturday?
I heard students are back, so that should be a great crowd, great atmosphere, one of the best in the country in my opinion, so we're going to be ready for it.
There they are, Pearson Carmichael, Tyson Degenhart meeting with the media, the old vet and the freshman there. 81-59, Boise State takes down UNLV. We're taking your comments, your questions, your post-game voicemails, your Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate Player of the Game. Here on the Jacksons Postgame Show, we are live from ExtraMile Arena. And Jacksons, yes, the Broncos got over 70 points, so that means on Thursday, not tomorrow, but the next day, Thursday, you get a hot dog, a soda, and I believe even a banana if you use the Let's Go Rewards app for $2. Hot dog, soda, banana, $2 using your Let's Go Rewards app at Jacksons anytime the Broncos score over 70 points in a game. So we appreciate Jacksons, the sponsor of our postgame show. Get out on Thursday and get that Jacksons bundle, hot dog, soda, and a banana for $2 thanks to the Broncos scoring 70 points in the game tonight. Jacksons, whether it's a soda, a snack, don't forget 25 cents from every hot dog sold at Jacksons goes to support the Horseshoe Collective. And you can help them out, help out the collective at Jacksons. And again, $2, hot dog, soda, banana on Thursday, thanks to the Broncos scoring 70 points. Snake River Pool and Spa, patio and game, thespateam.com. We're going to hear from Kevin Kruger, the head coach at UNLV, here in just a minute. We got some highlights as well. We'll hear from Leon Rice. Stay up late with us here tonight after an 81-59 win for Boise State. But Snake River Pool and Spa, patio and game, locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. Been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team, whether it's a spa, whether it's a pool table, something for the game room, billiards, dartboard, whatever it is, saunas, they got you covered. View their full inventory online. Check out one of their 4 locations at thespateam.com. Lithia Ford of Boise, they got some great sales going on right now. That Idaho winter, it is getting icy, it's getting snowy, it's getting cold, it's coming. You need to have a vehicle equipped for the conditions at Lithia Ford of Boise. The all-wheel drive sale is going on. They got some great deals. The Rains family's loving our F-150, whether it's a F-150, one of the Broncos, Expeditions, they got you covered. At LithiaFordBoise.com, you can view their full inventory of vehicles. And don't forget, they got NIL deals with 4 football players, 6 student athletes at Boise State, a lot of the coaches, a lot of the athletic department staff. So they're putting their money where their mouth is in terms of supporting Boise State. Bronco Nation News. And you should return the favor for your next car or truck purchase. Make it at Lithia Ford. of Boise. And Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com. Taco Bell has some great deals right now. The Cantina Bowls. My kids, we went, was it yesterday or the day before, went and got the cheesy roll-ups and the slushies. Just very cheap and easy to feed a family at Taco Bell. TacoBellWorks.com if you want to apply for a job. They are hiring. The SON Management Group, the Nicolason family, appreciate their support of Bronco Nation News, but some great promotional opportunities if you're looking for a job, but the food is pretty darn good as well, and they were honored at the San Diego State game on the court. They've given $400,000, more than $400,000 to student-athlete scholarships at Boise State. So you can, again, return the favor, support the sponsors, folks. Next time you're looking for a meal, hit up our friends at Jacksons. Boise State wins this one. Again, the final score tonight, 81-59. My name is BJ Rains. We are sitting courtside here at ExtraMile Arena. We got Jaden Finch here as well. Kevin Kruger, the head coach of UNLV, he spoke with the media. UNLV, 59 points tonight. They dropped to 3-1 in Mountain West play. They were 3-0, but they had beaten the three worst teams in the conference. They're now 9-6, 3-1 in conference. They shoot 43% from the field today, 6 of 14 from threes. They're actually okay from downtown, 15 of 20 from the foul line, but Boise State had the 38-21 advantage on the glass. You had 11 points from Bedford, number 14, 10 points from Thomas Jr., the point guard. Henley, number 10, had 10 points, and 8 points from Bear Cherry, Jalen Hill. So pretty balanced scoring attack for UNLV. They just couldn't get enough shots to fall tonight, and as we said, got just absolutely manhandled on the glass. UNLV heading to the airport, heading back tonight to UNLV. But first, their head coach, Kevin Kruger, met with the media.
What did you say to your team post game?
Just we just got to kind of, wear it and take it, and just take the good, of course, with the bad. And we had some good stretches, of course, but they just we were a little bit too much on our heels, and I think we just got to figure out, how we got to that feeling where we were on our toes and we were aggressive both offensively and defensively, so that we can have good results. And but yeah, a good fight there in the second half to kind of make a little bit of a run at it. But there in the first half, we just had too many empty possessions on both sides of the ball to kind of be on the other side of the coin of having a cushion.
What can you say about DJ's effort tonight?
I thought, him and a couple other guys played a good effort and a good, wanting to win and wanting to make plays. And but at the same time, we just got to sustain it. We just got to sustain those runs and those good stretches and figure out how to bottle that up a little bit if you want to win a tough road game at Boise. As you know, the conference isn't an easy one. A lot of tough challenges and tough games, but at the same time, it's there's nothing that we need to, can't quit. It was a tough road loss at a really good team. So we got to take tomorrow, make sure we get treatment, make sure we do what we need to do to get ready for another tough one.
You got some tough opponents coming up. How much would a win over a good team help the confidence level of your squad going forward?
Yeah, I think, even as much as anything, with the group, where we're at, and again, since we've been playing some really good basketball over the last month, just to kind of continue doing that. I think this is a team and a roster where, as long as we're the aggressors offensively and defensively, we're going to have a lot of good results, and I think that's kind of shown itself over the last 6 games, especially with Boise. When we're not the aggressors, when we're kind of on our heels and a little timid, and it doesn't work for us. And so, of course, just making sure we go fight and compete. Boise's going to win a lot of games in this league, like they usually do. But by losing tonight, it doesn't mean we can't still go win games. And but at the same time, understanding that each night is a challenge, and teams are playing hard to win games. It's conference time, and so we got to be one of those that people talk about how hard we play, how competitive we are, and you're in a fight when you're going to play Vegas.
What are you telling your players throughout the game, just doing their best job trying to guard Dagenhart?
Yeah, just again, he's a really good player. It's you can't guard Dagenhart with one guy, and so there was a couple times where we just, again, they ran some good stuff. We're a little bit out of position, and it makes you pay. And especially there in that first half, Cardenas creating advantages for teammates, Dagenhart finishing, creating plays for teammates. If you want to stop Boise, that's 1 and 1A right there. Those two guys making plays not only for themselves but for others. And again, there's going to be a handful when we watch film. I'm sure it's going to show we're not far off. we just again got to be a little more on our toes. We got to be a little more aggressive, and just kind of pick up the tempo and just fight and compete.
We talked at the half about getting into the paint, getting clean touches, but doing it without dribbling into the paint. Did you think you did a little better job in the second half?
Oh yeah, and I think a lot of that started just kind of with our pace out of the backcourt. It's tough when a team goes on a 6-0, 8-0 run. You kind of find yourself, slowing down a little bit and kind of make, again, just kind of being on our heels a little bit. And there in the second half, and even at the beginning of the first half, when we had good pace, we had good offensive possessions. They don't always end with points, but if it's a good shot in rhythm where the guys know where the shot's coming from, then we're going to live with it. And then that stretch in the second half, I thought we did a better job coming out of the backcourt with pace, kicking ahead, making plays for each other, getting to the rim. We had a lot of plays at the rim in the second half that so we got to keep focusing on that. But I thought we were more ready, shot ready in the second half, especially when we caught. And like I said, we got guys that can make shots. So every time they catch, if they're a threat to shoot it, then our offense is going to go pretty well, and we're going to get good looks. So we got to bottle that up and figure out how to do that for 40 minutes.
There he is. We appreciate the head coach, Kevin Kruger of UNLV, for coming on. Thanks to Jaden Finch for going over and getting that post-game interview. We're taking some of your comments, questions here. Peanut looks like he belongs. Redshirt plan never made sense, especially playing Bowie. What was the plan there? Carmichael just plays the same position as a couple of guys they have. He's just a 6'7" kind of wing, and they have 3 or 4 of those guys. They were thinking there wouldn't be enough minutes for him and weren't sure they wanted to play, and he was further down the depth chart than some of those other guys. And things obviously changed during the season. You have R.J. Keene going down with an injury, and they just needed another shooter, and he's been playing well in practice, and they decided the time was right. So you worry about 2029 and 2028. Like, you don't worry about his 5th year. I mean, things have changed in college basketball with the transfer portal and everything else, where you just can't worry about 4 years from now. And if he gives you a best chance to win right now, you got to play him. And that's what they did. So I give kudos to Leon Rice and company for making that decision, and it obviously paid off for him tonight. Speaking of Leon Rice, we're going to hear from him in a minute. But first, Transportation Compliance Service, transcompservice.com. If you want to get into the trucking industry, if you're looking for a job, highly recommend transcompservice.com. You can get into the trucking industry, and it's a booming industry right now, coming off the pandemic a couple years ago. So if you're looking for a new job, maybe think about the trucking industry. It's a local company helping folks all over the world. Transcompservice.com. You still need some Fiesta Bowl gear? They got you covered. The Blue and Orange Store.com. The Blue and Orange Store, Fiesta Bowl gear is half off. That's right, 50% off for Fiesta Bowl gear at the blueandorangestore.com, or just go to the Boise Town Square Mall there, the second floor next to Perimage. Half off for the Fiesta Bowl gear. They got the Ashton Genty gear as well. He declared for the NFL draft today. You can support him one more time at the Blue and Orange Store, the blueandorangestore.com. Lean Feast, leanfeastmeridian.com. You're looking for some healthy meal options, 10,000 plus combinations. They're feeding the football team, the basketball team, Tyson Degenhart and company. They can feed you as well. Steak, shrimp, chicken, fish. You can check them out, leanfeastmeridian.com. leanfeastmeridian.com. Check them out. Support the sponsors, and it's 5 days. It's good in the refrigerator. 2 minutes, you microwave it. You're good to go. And that's at Lean Feast, leanfeastmeridian.com. We'll take some of your post-game voicemails if you have any. We'll take them tomorrow morning. Dirk Cutter going to join us at 9 a.m. on Bronco Nation News Live. You can leave us a voicemail anytime, day or night, at speakpipe.com/BNN. Speakpipe.com/BNN. Leave us a voicemail, and we'll play that courtesy of Signature Roofing. I've been covering our community for more than 2 decades. MySignatureRoofing.com, whether it's a re-roof, a repair, an inspection, an estimate. Signature Roofing, covering our community at mysignatureroofing.com. And we're looking at some of the comments and things on here. We're scrolling through, seeing what we got in the ICCU YouTube chat. Do we know why Jace didn't play? He is hurt. Jace is hurt, and he is out for a while. Don't know when that's going to be, but he is out. He is out for a while there. So Leon is making roster moves look like roster science. Let's see. The red shirt rule will be dead by the time it'll matter for Peanut. Yeah, he may get that 5th year back anyway. So let's see what else we got in here. Is it because Ugbo is underwhelmed? Seems overreactionary if it's RJ's nose. Well, Ugbo is like more of a backup big. That's not the same position that Pearson Carmichael is a shooter, an outside kind of wing player. Ugbo is more of an inside player, so I wouldn't say that's really a similar thing at all. But Looking at some of the stats here, 21 points, 11 rebounds for Tyson Degenhart, 6 points, 2 rebounds for Andrew Meadow. Dylan Anderson, I thought he actually did some nice things tonight. Had been kind of a non-factor for a while, but hit a 3-pointer, 7 points, 3 rebounds for Dylan Anderson. Chris Lockett got his first career start, but no points for him. Alvaro Cardenas looked much more like himself. 13 points, 9 assists for Alvaro Cardenas. That was an impressive game, bounce-back game for him. Julian Bowie did not score in 12 minutes. Omar Stanley, one of the biggest stories of the night, 12 points and 4 rebounds for Omar Stanley, 12 and 4 in 22 minutes. Took 10 shots, thought he was much more aggressive and looked much more like himself tonight. So that's a good building block for Omar Stanley. Javen Buchanan, 12 points, 5 rebounds. You had Pearson Carmichael, 8 points, 3 rebounds, and Emmanuel Ugbo had 2 points on that dunk. Boise State shooting 49.2% from the field, but only 26.7% from 3. So I believe the number is almost 70% from 2-point range. So Boise State shot very well, got a lot of layups, 34 points off the bench, 40 points in the paint. So the Broncos getting a lot of their buckets on the interior, shot a high percentage on the interior, and it looked a lot more like it was supposed to look tonight. And I know it's one game. I know UNLV is not great. You're not trying to say Boise State's going to the Final Four. I get it. But in terms of feeling good after a game and thinking it looked more like it was supposed to look like, I mean, they were only favored to win this game by 9, and they win by 22 against a team that was undefeated in conference play. So a very impressive game from start to finish for Boise State, and I was super impressed. Another guy that was impressed was the head coach, Leon Rice. Keep your comments coming, your thoughts. Let us know your Matt Bauscher player of the game in the ICCU YouTube chat, and we'll get to that shortly. But first, let's hear from the victorious head coach, Leon Rice, after the win.
Well, perfect response. We had a tough one the other day, and the quick turnaround, and really proud of the way our guys. We played with energy and effort and passion, and we came at them in waves, and that's what I envisioned with this team, where we got a lot of guys and a lot of guys that can help the team, and that makes a difference when you have game after game after game, and so there's some really good things tonight.
What made it the right time to go with Pearson?
Well, first RJ was hurt, and we don't have that many guys. We have 10 guys really that are playing, and if one more went down, then all of a sudden, you don't want 8 guys, and you can't survive. And because, I was watching it really carefully, he's, you get these guys in June now, and when we got him, he was a high school kid. And I'm looking at him, and I'm watching him, and I'm like, God, his body's starting to change. He's starting to get stronger. He's becoming a really good defender. He can really guard, and he's big, and I swear he's even grown. And then, you watch him in practices, and he's making shots. And I'm like, whoa, boy, could we use that? And so, we talked to his parents and talked to him, and it just felt like the right time. And, this day and age with the changing landscape of college and what could happen, and it seemed like the prudent move to get him out there to help this team, and got him out there a lot of minutes tonight. And he for his first game be thrown in a conference game, you don't get an exhibition in front of fans, you don't get any. That was pretty impressive. So I was pretty happy.
He has some swagger out there,
Yeah, he does.
To the crowd, just.
I love it.
How fun of a player is he to watch him
practice
and now engage?
I asked him one day at practice recently. He was hitting 3 after 3 after 3, and I was like, "Hey, Peanut," we call him Peanut, and I was like, "Do you think you could do that in a game?" And his answer came back so quick, and I'm like, okay, it was more about how he answered it than what he said. Like, he was confident that he could go do it in a game, so I'm like, let's do it.
Would you say that without the injuries and everything else, would you prefer him to keep that red shirt, or was it purely you just thought it was the right time for him?
I just felt it was the right time for the team. I've been saying it over and over again too, that I just feel like we're clicking at about 75%. And, we need another guy that can shoot. I mean, that's if the one, if you New Year's wish would be, let's make a bunch of threes. And, he stepped in right away in the first game, and he led us and had the most threes on the team.
Just talking about guys clicking. I mean, you had 4 guys score at least 12 points. And you
Yeah.
had a few with 8, a few with 7. Just how happy were you to see more of a spread of points tonight?
Yeah, and just the, like Omar's energy, and I mean, he looked right. That was beautiful. And I just thought I thought we played 37 really, really powerful minutes. And, those games can be hard to play perfectly for 40, but 37 was that was a pretty darn good complete game. And, you look what we did on the boards, you look, we took care of the ball pretty darn good, especially that first half. And I was really proud of our guys' response. That's the mark of a champion is the way you respond to some adversity. And, we didn't go the way we wanted on Saturday. And, I woke up Sunday and knew that I had a great group of guys that would respond, and they didn't let me down.
Mason was mentioning that it was a very hard film session to watch on Sunday. Just, was it pretty apparent that there was going to be a bounce back right away?
Well, it was apparent to me, but you never know as a coach. But it was apparent to me because of the character, the type of guys we have. That's what I told them. I was like, guys, that's what gets me excited is I get to walk in the room with these guys. I know they'll fix it. And I let them fix most of everything.
Just seemed like a different feeling tonight. Whether it was Dylan was getting involved again, you mentioned
Yeah.
Omar and Pearson, and just if you were clicking at 75, maybe tonight was 85. I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, I would say that.
crowd,
Yeah.
It just seemed like everything just felt more like what we envisioned this season.
Yeah, exactly. And we've had some great moments and great games, but yeah, and I think that last percentage is if you make all those open shots. You're not going to make all your shots, but I mean, we shot like 70% from the 2. And I'm telling you, those 3s are coming. Guys are getting more and more comfortable. And then that's experience. I looked out there at one point, I went, oh, I got 3 freshmen out there. And they're not playing like freshmen already. So that's a great sign. And this team, I think it energizes us too because we feel like we have an upside, a lot of upside. And that we had a good look tonight.
You mentioned Omar a couple of times, but just, like you said, maybe some personal issues and stuff. Just how good was it to see him?
Just play. He looked like he was having fun out there, and that's the most important thing. That's when he's best because, you're talking about an all-league guy that's coming off your bench. That's the other team's like, oh, man, they were playing good. Now here comes another really good player. That's what we want, and that's what we have. And when we get everybody clicking, which tonight we did some of that, then, but like we've talked about a lot, is it takes a while to get 8 new guys clicking together and figuring out, both as coaches and as players they have to figure out each other. We have to figure out them of what their best spots are, how we can get them the ball, what they can add to the team, the right combination. There's a lot of moving parts. And then you throw some injuries here when you start to think you get it figured out and things like that. And so we just got our guys did a good job of rolling with it and played with a great energy, enthusiasm. Thought it was a good crowd tonight for a late night. And I don't know how many more late nights we have, but I don't. Do we? Yeah. But hey, they got to see the Broncos really, really shine tonight. That was great.
There he is, Leon Rice, speaking with the media after the game. More of that interview is available on the YouTube channel of Bronco Nation News. So if you want to hear the rest of that interview, just go to the YouTube channel of Bronco Nation News. Our player of the game tonight, I mean, I guess you got to give it to Tyson Degenhart, 21 points, 11 rebounds, his 3rd double-double of the season. Honorable mention to Pearson Carmichael coming off the bench, 8 points, 3 rebounds in his first ever game as a Bronco. But 21 and 11, plus 27 on the plus minus, looked much more like himself tonight. 8 of 11 from the field. Our Matt Bauscher Real Estate Player of the Game is Tyson Degenhart. And again, Bauscher Real Estate, check them out online at BauscherRealEstate.com. All your real estate needs. Check out our friend Matt Bauscher and BauscherRealEstate.com. All right, that'll do it from ExtraMile Arena as the clock gets ready to hit midnight. We appreciate the 895 of you that have been watching this. 81-59 the final. Boise State, really nice, impressive win. And now they get set to go to Utah State on Saturday. So Dirk Cutter is coming up at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Dirk Cutter joining us live at 9 a.m. And then you'll be able to hear Brad Bedell as well. And then we have Spencer Danielson talking on Thursday, I believe. You're good. Best in the business, our man Jordan right here heading out tonight. Keep giving us the great stats and things, so we appreciate him. But 9 a.m. Don't miss Dirk Cutter, 9 a.m. on Bronco Nation News Live. And then Thursday, Spencer Danielson press conference. I'm guessing we get the new quarterbacks coach tomorrow. New QB coach probably coming tomorrow. They've been spacing out these announcements. No clue who it is. But join us at 9 a.m. here in about 9 hours for Dirk Cutter and some basketball talk as well. But 81-59. Congrats to Pearson Carmichael. He's in the record books. He's in the history books. He's now played a game, and I'm excited to see what he can do moving forward here. But 81-59. Boise State now 12-4 overall, 4-1 in Mountain West play, and a big one coming up on Saturday at Utah State. Thanks to Jacksons, our post-game show sponsor. Again, 70 points gets you a hot dog and a soda. $2 on Thursday at Jacksons since the Broncos got to 81. And speaking of beverages, Western Collective, that Horseshoe Golden Ale, the Orange Chaos Seltzer, all the great beverages that Western Collective has. Go check them out, their brewery in Garden City. And our title sponsor, roepaint.com, roepaint.com. All your painting needs. Make sure you hit up our title sponsor, roepaint.com. That'll do it from ExtraMile Arena, the Jacksons Postgame Show. 81-59. Boise State takes down UNLV. Nice win for the Broncos, bouncing back after that loss to San Diego State. And the Broncos will be back in action Saturday at Utah State. Thanks for watching the show. Subscribe if you can. And we'll see you at Dirk Cutter, 9 a.m. tomorrow. Bronco Nation News Live, bronconationnews.com.